All right, for this next section, I'm going to be talking about 3 key ways that we can get our work to our students and then subsequently get it back. And we're going to be focusing on distributing it outward, though. And there's really 3 main options for doing so. One would be email. And keep in mind, there might be additional ways, and you might be thinking, well, there's these other ways that I do as well. I'm going to talk about these big 3 because I think these are important to realize we can make work together in a very, very smooth system. Now, email is great because it's comfortable, and it's something that we've all used. So even some of your older students have maybe already used email, and it just is easy for you to say, hey, shoot me an email with this file. But it does have limitations. It has limitations to file size. If you're in an elementary school, maybe they're not even allowed to have email. So although it's comfortable, there are some limitations. The next thing I'm going to be talking about in this section is learning management systems, LMSs as they're called. Learning management systems are great. This would be like Edmodo, Schoology, Blackboard, iTunes University, all of these different types of systems out there. These are much more powerful, but they usually come at a price. There's usually a cost to them. The cost sometimes is not directly the software, but it's the amount of learning that goes into them to make them efficient and effective in your classroom. They're always fairly complicated, and there's a lot to them. So learning management systems always usually come at some sort of a price to you. Then the last one I'm going to talk about is Google Drive. Now, it's a little unfair that on these others I didn't mention all of the names, but in Google Drive I'm putting it in a category of its own. It really is in a category of its own. It's really a file storage system, but it also integrates some pretty powerful apps into that file storage system. But it would also be implied that things like Dropbox or even a private server could act as a great distribution channel. So your school may even utilize its own little private storage area for files where you might upload files to them, then your students download the file, work with them, and then put them back on the drive. There's some definite benefits to it. I think where you're going to get the most from this section of the course is by learning how to take Google Drive, integrate it with your LMS, taking your LMS and integrating it with your email, and making all of these 3 things kind of seamlessly work together as opposed to feeling like 3 different separate methods. And I think if we come up with a great strategy for your school to work with these 3 different systems together as one unit, you're going to find you're going to have a lot more success. So that's what this particular section of this course will be all about.